Hey, dear readers, it's me again. This time I'm talking to you from Indiana University, Bloomington, and I am in front of a gorgeous Alexander Calder sculpture that I remember from my childhood. I'm also in front of the Musical Arts Center, which has the biggest stage, even bigger than the Metropolitan Opera, and it's super famous for its opera department. But I'm here because I am going to pick up my son Jacob from his dad, and we're going to have spend some time together this summer, and it's going to be fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. But I thought that I would take a few moments to kick off a series, a playlist of vlogs that I like to call Stories My Kids Are Tired of Hearing. And so since I'm here at one of my alma maters, I thought I would tell the story of why you should never give up. Okay, are you ready? Oops, here we go. First of all, the story starts way back when I was a freshman in high school. And my sister had been a fantastic Latin student, and we had this super good Latin program in my school. You notice my hands get tired and the camera keeps dropping. Well, so I figured, how hard can it be? Oh gosh, well, that sounded bad. No offense, Jill. Yeah, I'm gonna get it from my older sister. But no, I figured, it can't be that hard. Well, it was that hard, and I ended up doing horribly. And it was only through my teacher's good graces and my ability to do endless extra credit projects that I even pulled a C- out of the course and was able to count it on my transcript. So for 4 years, I went through life thinking, oh man, I suck at languages. Man, I seem to be good at English, but it's just not, the correspondence is not carrying over to languages. I just suck at languages, quite frankly. And so I went around with that bad attitude for a good 4 years until I came here. And, of course, like most undergraduates, let's change our angle a little bit so we can get and also so I can change hands. Because I'm getting tired of holding this up. So I came here. I was a freshman. And as many of you know out there, when you are a college student, you are required to take X number of language classes. Now, the year before, I had done well in Spanish. I'd been named Spanish Student of the Year and all of that. And so I had a little bit of confidence, but I had already had a taste of Latin, and I knew it was not for me. So I registered for classes, and wouldn't you know it, I bet you can guess what's going to happen. I needed to take a Latin class. I needed to take a language class. Lord knows, did I not want Latin. Wouldn't you guess it, of course, the only language class I could get was Latin. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Now, of course, you college students out there know that any class at 8 a.m. is constitutionally cruel and unusual punishment. And so I thought, oh man, what a great way, sarcasm intended, to start my college career. Oh, crap, I'm in for it now. And so I went to that first Latin class, and I ran into one of the best teachers I have ever encountered. Her name is Davina McLean, and there were 10 students in the class, which quickly became a club. Now, Davina was a hipster before her time. She had wild-colored fingernails, and now I understand she's dyeing her hair green. But she was very colorful, and she was such a good storyteller. I mean, it was so much fun going to class. If you're a Latin student, you know that you spend a lot of time translating stories about wild parties. And that's exactly what we did. But I also learned about epics. I read epic stories like the Odyssey and the Iliad. And I appreciated and valued the stories of honor and bravery and courage and determination. And so, lo and behold, at the end of the year, I had an A- in the class, which was astounding. I couldn't believe it either. And in fact, Davina said to me, well, you're having a good time with Latin, but, I think you'd actually even have an easier time with Greek. So next thing you know, I'm taking Latin and Greek, and I graduated with a classical studies major in Greek and Latin. So what my kids always get tired of hearing is that people change over time. You grow, you acquire new skills, even no matter how old you are. And I used to tell my college students when I was a professor at Valparaiso University, I was a communications department professor, and I always used to tell them, here I'm going to switch positions here. There's an old joke about an 80-year-old man who was asked if he could play the violin. I don't know, he said. I never tried. This is psychologically a very wise reply. How can any of us know whether we are really good at something when we are new every single second? So I have been very grateful to Davina, and shout out to my Greek professor, Tim Long, who's no slouch in telling stories himself. And so while we're on the subject of the classics, every so often you will see me wearing this watch. And it's not, it's not a Rolly or anything like that. But, oh dear, I think you're seeing it upside down. Hang on. Okay. Are we getting it? Let's see. I think we're getting it. I'm trying. Well, the stars are supposed to be on top. And the reason I love this watch and had to have it was because of a Latin saying, ad astra per aspera, through the stars, through hardship. And the idea that, we can achieve glorious things if we just persist through the difficulties of life. So that is that is the first installment in this video series. I can talk. Leave a question in the comments below with what you tell your kids, what your parents used to tell you, good advice on their behalf, bad advice. And of course, please do like, subscribe, and ring that little bell. so that you can keep continuing to hear um, silly stories like this one. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a fantastic day. Bye, IU.